at the shaker. This is where the mud that got pumped down in the hole, brought the cuttings back up, comes to first. You got Derek Man here doing a mud test right now. He's going to do what we call a funnel test. He's going to check the viscosity of the mud and find out the parameters. Mud comes through the shaker. A couple things it's going to do. The mud liquid's going to fall through the shaker. The cuttings are going to come off the end of the shaker. Those cuttings we're going to analyze for amount of oil and gas in them, whether it's a sandstone or a shale, a limestone. They're going to go to the mud logging trailer to be further analyzed. The other neat piece of equipment right here is bright lime green. It's a gas sniffer. What it's doing is it's taking some of the mud and separating the gas out and sending it through some glycol, and they're reading how much gas is in the mud. When you drill through a zone that's full of oil and gas, you're going to get an increase of gas in the mud that comes out. So that's a first indication that we're in a zone that may hold oil and gas, is when we get gas out of our sniffer. This piece of machinery, its main job is to separate solids from liquids. Get the solids, the cuttings we just drilled out of the mud, send it down to the reserve pit, take the liquids back into the reserve mud so it can be pumped out. This is where the mud gets conditioned on this end and gets sent over to the mud pumps. Now I'm going to show you an example of the cuttings we get and how we analyze them here from the rock that we're cutting up. First thing we're going to do is clean it. This is a sample of some of the cuttings that come across the shaker. Initially what you can see here are these big flakes of black shale. They break as much as they're cut when they're down to the bottom of the hole, and they come up in these big chunks. You can see how they break, and they're very brittle. It's a very brittle shale. It's a Springer shale. It's been drilled horizontally here 6 miles to the east, and it's more of a horizontal producer than vertical, but it's certainly a hydrocarbon bearing shale. There's a little bit of sandstone, maybe a little bit of limestone in here, but for the most part we're drilling through nice black shale. It's easy to drill, and it's a source rock where oil and gas is cooked and then goes to reservoir rock. So that's what we're seeing right here, is drilling about 90% shale is what I'd call it, just looking at it in my hand.